Good morning and welcome back to Mindful Model Maker. We're away in the motorhome again, as you can see, and this is the project that I'm going to be working on for probably the next month or so. And what I've done is I bought kind of really one of the cheapest models that you can from a company that is called PS Models. It's Phil Sharples is the guy. So if you go on the internet and type in P.S. Models, you will come up with this guy who makes these laser cut wooden locos. There are diesel type ones, all sorts. He does wagons as well. It's not a very big range at the moment. He's been going some time. You sometimes I think see his stuff on eBay, but I tend to go directly to his website. And for this is a Hudson based loco. It's going to be fully radio controlled, and the price is £38. So £38 for a loco, which I'm setting up as 45mm. It comes with the motor and the basic battery box if you just want it to go forward and reverse. But I want to go on because there are two types of radio control system that I've come across for small type locos, which is really what this exercise is going to be about. So what I've done with this loco at the moment, a lot of it is not glued, the main bits, and the reason they're not is because I need to fit all the radio gear in. So these bits are permanently glued. I use super glue to fit. It's a nice little loco. There's still a lot of extra little bits. The wheels have got to go on and all the other bits and pieces. But at the moment, I'm only interested in getting the radio gear in. Now, there are two types that I'm looking at. Now, Loco Remote, a lot of you may have heard of that. Again, Loco Remote, if you go onto the Loco Remote website, they will tell you what system you need for this. Well, this is the radio control chip for it. It's very simple, this one. It's just one piece like that. Obviously, you'll need batteries to go with that. They also tell you that you can buy, this is for a drone. So you've got 4 batteries. They're 3.7, so they're LiPo batteries, and they come with a charger, which is USB. You can put all 4 batteries in at the same time and charge them, and that will run this for quite a while. I've tried it just rough with the motor, not with this one, because what you use for this one, there's no hand controller with this, and the reason is because you use if you've got a smartphone, you tune it in, the full instructions come with it. You can tune this in on your smartphone and use your smartphone as the controller. Yep, so I'm going to try that. Also, if you go on the Loco Remote site, he does these, because I'm going to be building, I've already started it, a Gauge 1 Class 33, which has got 4 motors in. He actually does one of these to run the 4 motors on that. So obviously a lot bigger than this and a lot more expensive. So this one that will run these small locos comes out at £40, including the P&P. So you just go onto Loco Remote. You can have a look. He does it for IP engineering. He's got all of the main garden railway companies, IP engineering, all the different ones. Even some of the steam stuff is on there as well, and it will tell you which one of these you need. So when you order, you can order the correct one. So it's a very informative website. So that system then runs on a 3.7. You get all the wires and various bits and pieces so that will connect onto the battery, and also the other 2 wires I think will go to the motor. That's all it is. And then your phone does the rest of it. Now, I haven't tried that yet. to see what happens. But it also gave me the details of ordering this on eBay. I got a feeling it was around about 16 to 18 pound, the whole thing, charger and 4 batteries, obviously for a drone, but also see now I've got 4 batteries that I can run this, so when one runs out I can disconnect, put the next one in, and away we go. So probably that'll give you quite a bit of running. So you'll see this in action as time goes on, because I do belong to a model engineering society which has 16mm track and 45mm. I'm building this for 45, and the reason is I'll show you in a moment. So that's why I've part built this. It's very simple, the instructions are very clear, and everything fits perfectly. You might have to just touch up a few little bits with a file or a bit of sandpaper just for it to fit. But I'll go into more detail. This today is just showing you what's coming. So that's the Loco that I'm going to do. There's another Loco that will be coming very soon, which will have the other. So one will have one radio control system in, and the other will have the other one in. Right, so the next one I'll show you is this. You may have seen this advertised on eBay. There is a few more bits, but there is plenty of room in this Loco. You just got to think a bit outside the box of where to put all the various bits and pieces. But I'm pretty sure I can get them in. They're all plugged, so you can unplug, just take a photo if I was you, of what bit unplugs and then what bit goes back. Now this guy is called Ince Loco Works. If you go onto eBay and you go onto SM32 Locos, you'll see some chassis. Just the little chassis. I've got a couple of them, and they're actually well made because they're all metal and brass, and they're quite well made, and they've got the motors in and they run nicely. But he also does this. Now I've wired this up onto the motor in here. Like I say, I haven't got the wheels on there yet. If I did, I'd show you, but as soon as I've got that, the only reason I can't put the wheels on, I forgot to bring a junior hacksaw so that I can cut the axles to put the wheels in. That's the only reason. But I'm owning up there, and I've tried it. See, this one says it runs on about a 7.5, but I've tried it on the 3.7 and it seems to run okay. So these are all the little bits, and all you need on this is that it come with the battery. A PP9 type transistor type battery is inside there. That came with it, just flicks out of the little box. You got forward and reverse, and you got a very fine rotary controller on there as well, so which is very good. Now the whole lot of that, how much do you think that was? Well, I've got it written down here, so I will know exactly how much it was. And this is called a budget Bluetooth handheld control system, and it was $39.99 and £3.85 postage. And when I got this, I put it onto something else and I blew it up, which was my fault. So what I did then, I sent the stuff all back to him and said that I'd messed up. Please tell me how much I owe you for the repair. Sent it off. A couple of weeks later, it all come back all fully fixed. So this guy is good. So yeah, so far I've had this running with that, not this actual Loco, but the motor backwards and forwards, very fine control as well. So that's the other system. So this guy Ince Loco Works, and on eBay his what does it say? I've written it down somewhere, I can't find where I wrote it. Yeah, Phil Seddy is, so it's PHILSEDDY. If you go on to eBay and type that in, you'll find his website. If you can't find it that way, go to SM32 Locos on eBay and then look on the bit where there's just the little chassis. I think they're about 20 odd pound. And if you go on there and go on see other items, you'll then pull this up because it's on there. And I'll tell you something, this is worth the money because of what you get. Now the bit I do like, all right, there's a bit more electronics to try and bury, but that's the skill of it all. But the thing is, I'm going to build this more for my grandsons to run, and I don't really want them with my mobile phone. They could drop it, you know. But with this, and this is just programmed in to this control. It's very simple. You literally switch it on like this, and the green light comes on like so, and you can see that there, and then away it goes. So that's it. The minute you start turning it, once it's wired in, it tunes itself in. And I would imagine you can have loads of these, because I would imagine each one is tuned to each hand. So if you have half a dozen of these with half a dozen Locos, it's very simple. The phone, yeah, well, you know what phones can be like. I like this idea because it's very simple. You know, you could just stick that in there and the battery in the other bit, and that's all you need. So this might win, but I just like to try this because I like the look of it as well. So I'm going to build another Loco, and I'm going to have the two systems working. Now, why did I do it 45mm? Right, okay, see this track? Now this track is sold by a company, again on eBay. You think, God, this bloke must never get off eBay, but I do. But I buy a lot of things because it's so simple. Where do you go nowadays to buy the things you want? And this is quite cheap. Right, it's made by a company called ECR, and it's G-scale 45mm hard plastic. They do the metal type track to this. Now this one piece of track is £2.35. Now to make a complete circle you need 12 of these, and that comes out £22.25. I think there's a bit of postage, but not a great deal. They do points and they do straights. So this is all plastic, and I've got quite a bit of it. I've got a load of straights. The reason the normal doesn't come with the silver on, I bought this second hand on eBay. Somebody had built a layout with it, and these were the leftover bits, and they sold them off, so I just bought them. What they've done, they sprayed the rail silver, that's all, but it comes just all brown, that colour, the whole thing, track as well. Now obviously if you're going to put this outside, you've got no problem with it, apart from if it's uneven and you tread on it, it might split. Other than that, these have got plastic wheels anyway, but even if they've got metal wheels, you can change from metal wheels. It's not going to make any problem. So because obviously all the power's on the Loco, so you haven't got to clean the track. All you've got to do is just make sure there's no bits in the way to throw your Loco off the track. That's it. So that can be left out in all weathers and forget it. And the points are very good as well. And of course they're not electrically, they don't rely on an electrical bit on the blades of the points. So that's it. So this ECR, again on eBay, G-scale 45mm hard plastic track. So the reason I've gone for that is because that's readily available, and I've got a lot of it. So when I start to make a mock-up, when these run, I can make up a track quite easily. These, when you get these, you can have them as 16mm or 45, so it just adjusts the chassis underneath here. The width of that is all you do. So that's what the other slots are that are cut in underneath. You can see them, so that you can just do it. For people that haven't done it before, the rest of it, well, I'm just teaching you to suck eggs really, because we all know. But and for the money for this Loco, I think is absolutely brilliant. And you can paint it up and do exactly however you want it. Add bits to it. I've got probably an exhaust system somewhere I can just put on it. And like I say, I've made this bit so it comes off, so that when everything's inside, you can just pop that down like so, and it's safely covered. And when the bit inside, because there is a little bit where I can put other stuff underneath, where a lot of the radio control stuff will probably fit underneath a little desk, and there'll be a little switch on top for turning it on and off, so I haven't got to keep taking it to bits. So anyway, that's what we're going to be doing. Also, on the Loco Remote, when you're on there, if you want to do it 16mm, he does 3D printed track, and it's a very tight curve stuff, but it looks really good. So have a look on the Loco Remote, because there's so much information on that website for all different various bits and pieces. Phil Sharples then is the guy for this, PS Models. I just go direct to the website, and you can see it hasn't got a big range at the moment, but if you're starting out in this, or you want to build something for younger members of your family, if you want to get them into model railways, the way I look at it is you can put together a layout relatively cheaply, and it's quite a size, you know, it's not small fiddly bits that they've got to go. It's easy to put on the track, and you can then, there are two different, as I'm going to say, I'm going to look at two different types of radio control system to run this, and it'll be step by step. So when I start putting the stuff in, I'll have a little dummy run first in order to get everything in, and once everything's in, then you'll be able to see it and judge for yourself. So that's what's coming up now in the next few weeks, is I'm going to build two locos and radio control them, each with a different system, and we'll compare it and see how it goes. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you very soon with the next video. Thank you very much. Bye now.